All right, peace. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, most importantly, comment down below. I do this for y'all. I appreciate your energy and I appreciate your time. Most importantly, I appreciate your opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely need that. That's because this is why I'm putting this out here. So, main reason why I'm doing this is because I really want us to talk about. This is actually part two of I'm Not Black video. This is just an extension to that because I wanted to touch on a few things that that I didn't really touch on in that last video. And to be honest, I want to stress it just because it's really the main essence of why it is the way it is. Right now, what I touched on in the first video in regards to the categorization of dark people was the disengaging and disempowerment of them, right? Of us. So my point is that instead of being called who we are, we were called the perception of us, and we've always been called that ever since then. Because see, subconsciously, what that does is you put that people in a certain social class and social level, and you deem them as such until until the end of time, right? And how they do that is, like I said, is through language. Like we went to Merriam-Webster, where you see how crazy their definition of black and dark was. How you know what I'm saying? So this is how they create this system of superiority and supremacy, is because this is their language, so they're using it to their benefit by when when they address something, they also correlate what they're addressing to how they feel about it. You see what I'm saying? Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because anything that has been called or deemed black is always related or correlated with a negative connotation, right? While anything opposite of black is correlated with divineness and God, right? And so the thing is that um, the symbolism is very important because subconsciously it's speaking to you. You see what I'm saying? And remember, well, I don't know if you've seen this video, but I did a video in regards to one of the universal laws of nature, which is number two, the law number two, which is the law of vibration. You see, words, when you speak words, you're speaking frequencies of vibration, which is speaking a certain levels of energy. So, like I said, so if you give a person a word that has a negative connotation, then what you are pushing out is negative energy every time you say that word. For example, Negro, right? That's when back then it started Negro, and then Negro is just what? It's just black, right? So back then to you see, this is the crazy thing about it too, is because they really know what it means, but at the same time, the ones that fear it, they give it that negative connotation. The reason why I'm saying that is because even in religion, the color black is considered divine. Hence, the black Madonnas, which are priceless religious relics. Priceless religious relics. You can't even put money on them. They're so priceless, and they're black, pure black. Pictures of Mary and Jesus and things like that. And these, and like I said, these things are priceless. So they pray to them. They say some cry blood. So it's they know what it means. They know how divine actually black and dark is. But like I said, but the agenda, that won't help them if they confirm that, right? And if they accept that. And for example, with the Muslims, one of their most prized possessions are the black stones, right? Those are the black stones that were given to Muhammad. Black stones. They are priceless relics of their black stones. And then that in Mecca, the thing they pray to, that thing where they touch, it's black as me. It's black. I mean, they say it's because it's been touched on, but like I said, it's supposed to resemble or emulate it. It has something to do with them black stones. And look it up if you don't believe me. Look it up, please do. But so like I said, so they know that the color dark is is a symbolism of actual divinity. But when you look up, when you Google Jesus on Google Images, he ain't black. When you Google anything, it's not. it doesn't show divinity when it correlates to black. It shows the opposite, which is evil, right? Black magic, right? It shows dark magic, right? Voodoo or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So that's my point is that the symbolism is so real, and it is part of the initiative of creating that superiority complex and perception for non-dark people, because they're the ones that were actually, they were the ones writing those books. You know what I'm saying? You see, it's like if I wrote a book and I was the hero in it. That's what I'm trying to relate to people, is that how do you trust a book that the author is giving it to you and he's the character and he's the hero in the goddamn book? What type of shit is that? What type of book is this? I don't get it. I don't get it. But back to what I'm saying. So, and to touch on another thing too, um, when people say black, because black is a color, dark is not a color. So you can't call something dark in the sense of describing what it looks like, because dark is a noun. If you want to describe what it looks like, it's black. You don't say yellow, brown, dark. You don't say that. It's black. That shit's black. Black is in the color scale. But see, all colors are in dark. And that's what people fail to understand. All colors are in dark. Every color of the rainbow is in dark. You don't believe me? Go take your kids' crayons or go get your kids' paint. Take all the colors, mix them all together, and see what happens. You're going to get brown or you're going to get dark, or you're going to get a mixture of both. Hence, brown or dark in Nigeria. That black. Or you know what I'm saying? I just Alba dark. That's that's that is the accumulation of colors. There is no absence of light, because what melanin does, if we look at it in a molecular structure, melanin is the absorption of light and sound energy, right? So light is being absorbed just fine. And then color, I just explained to you in regards to color. Go get some colors and put them together. Put red, green, put them all together. I know it sounds crazy, but put them together and see what happens. You'll get brown or black. That's it. You'll get brown and black. But if you can take the color white and see how many colors you can pull out of that. Good luck. So my point is that we have to understand the definition of dark, and we have to understand that black is the perception and adjective and implication of darkness and dark. You see what I'm saying? But like I say, if you look up dark, it's always related to something evil. And how coincidental the majority of people of the earth are dark and are all being oppressed on. And how coincidental that the language of the oppressors deems them negative. How coincidental is that? You see, let me break down how deep this shit get. Let me break it down for you just a little more. In my language, Zulu, we don't call white people, Caucasians, Europeans, we don't call them white. To say white in Zulu is umhlophe, right? We don't call, I mean, yes, you can describe them as umuntu omhlophe, which means a person that is white, but we don't call them that. We call them abelungu, umlungu, umlungu. That means white. That means a white person, umlungu. Abelungu, that means a lot of white people. That means white people plural. So my point is that do you know what umlungu means in Zulu? That means it's like ukulunga. Means everything is okay. Everything will work out. Everything will be well. Ukulunga. So umlungu means, it gives it the connotation of everything is good. These people are good. They are the fixers. They are the well ones. So that's how deep it is, that even in our language, how we address them is something so pure and nice. But then how do they address us? They call us Kafirs. They call us blacks. They call us Kafirs. Kafirs is what you call it. If you want to call a black person a nigger in Africa, in South Africa, you call them a Kafir. That's what you call. That's how you disrespect a black person in regards to nigger here in America. You call them a Kafir. But we'll call black people and Kafirs over there. You know, yes, like I said, in regards to our tribal names, those are our names and we speak ourselves. But My point is that when you look this stuff up, when you look in these history books, when you look at just in society how people address black people or dark people, see, even to me, this is how bad it is. Even I still say black. It's fucked up because I'm just now realizing the fact that I'm not black, I'm dark. But then I've been calling myself fucking black more years than I've known that I've been dark. So can you imagine how much of a mind fuck that is? Can you imagine that? So now not only am I coming to the grips and to the fact of realizing, but now I have to go through the process of fully accepting because I've been so indoctrinated of calling myself black, which I'm not black. That's just what I look like to them, but I'm not actually black. I'm actually dark. And then I gotta reset the name of being called African because I'm not African. African has got nothing to do with the continent because that name, not only is it a English or Latin, whatever fucking name it is, it ain't our name. It's some person or something that came to Africa and then deemed it Africa after it took it over. It damn sure ain't a tribal name of that area, of the place they call Africa. And even with me, I still call it Africa. I still call it South Africa. Why? Is because it's so beat into my brain subconsciously. This is how sick this shit is. This is how sick this shit is. And that's my home, right? I'd rather, now I just consider it Zulu land. And that's what I realized. That's the best way to consider it, Zulu land. And anything else, my people can tell me what we called it. They can tell me. That's it. Anything else, you damn sure ain't gonna tell me where I used to live or where my people come from. You can't tell me that shit. How the fuck you gonna tell me where my people come from? How you gonna tell me what's on the walls and the paintings, what they mean of my people when you're not even fucking from there? You don't even look like them. So I never understood that. I never understood why most of Egypt's relics and artifacts, most of Africa's artifacts, period, are in European museums and not in Africa themselves. I don't understand how South Africa specifically, supplies I think it was almost 85 to 90% of the world's gold and diamonds, yet they're still considered a third world country. Congo, there's a certain mineral in Congo where every cell phone fucking needs it, every iPhone, every Samsung needs the shit. They're still a third world goddamn country. We're known for the big five game hunting of the various wild game out there. People have been hunting for years, keeping our treasures, our animals as trophies on a wall. And we're still a third world continent. The money here, grab a dollar, turn it over. You'll see the pyramid with the Eye of Ra on the American dollar. How many American dollars does Africa have? While the place they call Africa is on the money here, which is one of the richest places in the world. Like, how much sense does that make? How does all this history tie back to the place they call Africa while Africa is looking the way it is? Socially, industrially, spiritually? Tell me. When so many innovations have been, so many innovations, they have been confirmed to be originated from there. Language, art, astrology, irrigation, math, the wheel. And they got architecture that is still standing to this day that nobody, no country, no civilization has ever replicated. Latin America, they tried because they were cool with us and we had something going with them, but none of those pyramids look like anything on our side of town. Not one pyramid resembles the ones in Egypt. Not one. In ancient Kemet, not one of them. There was even over 260 something pyramids in Sudan back in the day. Over 260 something, which is more than the ones in Egypt, in Sudan, Ethiopia, Kemet, the Kingdom of Kush, Nubia. So, like I said, man, it's just so blatant. It's so blatant, but I'm just tired of not even fuck. I'm tired. I haven't this information. If I knew this information a long time ago, I'd have been telling you all. But like I said, I'm just finding this shit out. I'm 33 years old, and I'm just finding out how essential. I'm just putting all this shit together. How essential the place they call Africa is, and it makes sense to me why every single part of it was conquered and divided by the Europeans, the smallest minority of the country, I mean of the world. And now, fast forward to now, they run every aspect of living, including religion, which is really the only reason why they run anything at all. But see, the only reason why this has happened is because the place they call Africa, we had tradition there. We had rules and regulations, and one of our main rules and regulations, even now, some of our most original tribes, and even the Indians practice it because the Indians are actually African. The Indians are part of that Hebrew tribe in Africa. But my point is that we have always had the culture of accepting and allowing strangers to come in, and that was the downfall. Ever since there was contact with the Europeans and the place they call Africa, there's been a problem. You can't nobody show me a time of antiquity or peace or utopia when Europeans and Africans were mixing all together in regards to them coming in, and whether it's trading with us or whether it's just the full force conquering, it's never been good. It has never been good. On In Latin America, South America, all that shit's taken over. Argentinas and Chiles and all them, that shit, it's all Spaniards. North America's been taken over. Africa's been taken over. Australia been taken over. Hell, China too, a little bit. But China is a whole nother breed of things, because that's why the Chinese are not called white. It's because they know that they have a strong tie to Africa. That's why they call them yellow. That's why they call them yellows, because they know that they have a tie to Africa. And that's why, like I said, their eyes are the way they are, is because they have a strong correlation with the sub-Saharan South African Bushman. Go Google sub-Saharan Bushman, sub-Saharan South African Bushman, and look at their eyes, and then look up an Asian, and put them shits together, and tell me if you don't see any resemblance there. Same thing with the Eskimos and the Asians. Same shit. Those are their lands before they got iced over and took over. So my point is that it's been an initiative to do what they do best, which is take shit over, categorize it, and then address it of how they feel about it, as opposed to address it of what that entity feels about itself and calls itself. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's like me telling you how to think and how to believe and to tell you what you are, as opposed to you telling me who you are. I just call you what I look at. I just call you what you look like to me. That's it. So, like, if you are not dark, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. Like, this is not an attack. This is what's going on. And I've shown you my examples of indoctrination and brainwashing, where I call myself African. I still slip and I call myself black, and I still call the place they call Africa Africa. It's because that's how deep this shit is. Is that not only was this this strategy of dominance and conquering done with violence and physicality and religion, but it was also done through language. Because with language, that's when you can stamp something and label it, and that's what it is. That's it. That's it. You call a car cars because that's what we call a car, not because it's what it looks like. Not because it looks like a car, it's because that's what it is. So for people to call us black as opposed to calling us what we really are, which is dark and not what we look like, not only, like I said, it's disrespectful, but it's showing you their main intent. It's showing you their main intent. So words are swords. That's why the word words, all you got to do is take the S and throw it in the beginning and it's swords. Because words are, they cut just like swords. So when people tell you that words don't mean shit, they're a motherfucking lie. They're lying to you. Because words cut. And not only do words cut, but they invoke emotion. And what happens with emotion? You got to react to it one way or another. That emotion will invoke reaction, right? So, but if you throw a frequency out, frequency is energy, right? We talked about that. That's energy. And when we throw out frequencies, we react to frequencies, right? Same way where your heartbeat. If your heartbeat's irregular, that's irregular frequency. You react to that shit, right? If somebody shoots you with a stun gun, that is a certain level of electric current and energy, right? That is gonna fuck with yours. You know what I'm saying? So we react to energy. So a stun gun is just like a word. There's just two different levels of energy. And we have already established the fact that vibratory energy, vibration is a form of energy, and when manifested, creates frequency, right? And then frequency is, when it registers as a wave, it can be converted to either sound or light, right? Hence, remote control. Hence, a radio. See what I'm saying? So understand, for dark people, for non-dark people, this is not an attack. This is to clear shit up. Let's get it straight. That's what this is. And I hope the ones who understand, that's what I'm saying. It's like, don't get your fucking feelings bent out of shape and think about yourself and realize the shit that I had to realize and go through just even learning about this. And this is about me, right? So don't sit here, like, I don't want Caucasians, European people to go, oh, they're blaming us. Da, da, da. Understand that not only we're all part of the problem, but yes, if you do not understand, if you don't try to empathize with what I'm saying, then yes, you don't give a fuck, and you're part of that problem, and you're a part of the white supremacy. Yes, if you are not trying to give me a chance for you to give me a chance so you can understand my plight, because this is not only is a concern, but like I said, this is fucking my head up, and I'm not the only dark person in this world. So understand that this is not an attack. This is to understand what side are you on, the ones who created this mess, or the ones who want to stop it like me and want to let everybody know. Because understand that just because they look like you doesn't mean you got to side with them. There's a lot of pieces of shit motherfuckers that look like me. Doesn't mean I side with them just because they look like me. So that's one thing that anybody who watches this and they're not black or not dark, see, here I go, who are not dark, anybody who watches this and you're not dark skinned, understand that fact. That just because the ones that created this mess look like you, don't mean that you are the reason why they did it, or it's your fault too. When it is your fault is when you ignore it, is when you dismiss it, is when you condone it. That's when you on their side. If you ignore what I'm saying, if you ignore my plight, my concerns, my frustrations, if you minimize my plight, my frustrations, and if you condone them, then yes, you are my enemy. It's that simple. We got to pick a side. And like I said, there's a lot of people who look like me who are not on my side. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of people who they're just out for them and their own, and that's it, right? I was about to throw some names out. There's a lot of them. Well, most of them. I mean, the only ones I know of are just the ones that are famous, and like I said, they don't stand up for shit. Like Michael Vick, bro. Like I saw that interview with Michael Vick when he was talking about Colin Kaepernick to cut his hair and clean up his image. Like when I saw that shit, that's what I'm saying. Like that is a perfect example of the indoctrination and the brainwashing, the shit that they fuck your head up with. Vic, you went to the pen, bro. You went to the pen for fighting dogs, and you want to tell Colin Kaepernick to chill out while he's out here trying to fight racism and white supremacy. So I'm saying, bro, somebody need to take some pigskin and slap the goddamn indoctrination out your ass, bro. And then there's a lot of people like Michael Vick, like I said, who not only they condone the plight, they minimize the plight, and they ignore it. And they are dark skinned. Because like I said, even I'm telling you this, how many times have I slipped and called the place they call Africa, Africa? And how many times have I slipped and called myself even black? Because even in my head, it's hard to register all the years of me calling myself what I look like as opposed to address myself as to what I really am. Like, y'all understand how much that messed my head up. And it's still, and I'm still going through, like, I don't know how long it's going to take me to understand that fact. To be honest, I don't know. But I know I need to. And anybody else who's dark-skinned needs to too. And what's unfortunate is that a lot of Latin Americans, I don't say a lot, some of them, they not only despise dark, but they'll fight you if you even call them dark or quote-unquote black. Because, like I said, because they have been indoctrinated with that white God syndrome, so anything black is negro to them. It's negro. It's what it is to them. I'm not saying all Latin Americans. Or Latin period. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying there was a nice chunk of them who say, I am not that. I am not that. And yes, there might be a blend of few things, but like I said, man, if you got anything close to this, you part of my family. I mean, whether you like it or not, you see what I'm saying? Whether you like it or not, or whether I like it or not. Now, I don't know how deep it goes, but you know, I definitely want to leave y'all with this. The perception of who you are should be dictated by you and not who is addressing you or anything else that is outside of you. How you address yourself or how you are addressed should come from you first. And anything else is built off of that, right? That's what it should be. Not somebody who's not of you tells all of y'all who you are. That's not how it works. That's how it works with dogs and shit like that. Cats and cows. And we just tell them what they are. But not only am I a human being, but with the pun fully intended, we are the jewels. We are the jewels of this world. Hence why jewelry is called jewelry. Jews. We are the jewelry of this world. Dark people are the jewelry of this world. And the sun says so. You feel me? The sun says so, not me. The sun says so. Not me. The sun did it. Blame the sun. Don't blame me. The sun did it. I don't know what to tell you. All right. I got to get out of here. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe. More importantly, please comment down below. I want to know what your opinion is. I want to know what you think. Like I said, if you are of, understand what I'm trying to say. This is not an attack. But if you are talking shit and you want to disagree with what I'm saying, then this is an attack. If you deem black inferior, then this is an attack. If you want to call me black, then this is an attack. Straight up. I'm standing on one side of things. So you pick what side you are. Because one thing's for sure is, it's cracking. And it's been cracking. We 2,000 years into this one. But see, it ain't gonna last too much longer. I know that. It ain't gonna last too much longer. But I want it to end within my lifetime, goddammit. I'm not leaving this earth without letting them know who and what we are. Before I leave this earth, I will redefine what my people are to anything that's not of it. So I say to you, peace. Y'all have a good day and night. And that's it. I'll catch you on the next one. We got the laws of nature coming up. Peace.